Hello students, I am Ramachandran, Assistant Professor, Department of English. In this video, we are going to see an essay of dramatic poesy by John Dryden. It was written during the Neoclassical age. Writers of Neoclassical age followed the rules and the way of writing as the classical writers followed. The Dryden's critical work, an essay of dramatic poesy, is different from other works. Dryden written this work in a dramatic way. An essay of dramatic poesy deals with the views of major critics and the tastes of men and women of the time of Dryden. The work is in the form of semi-drama, thus making abstract theories interesting. In the late 17th century, Shakespeare was severely criticized for his careless attitude towards the mixing of genres. It was Dryden who elevated Shakespeare to height for his natural genius. The narrative of an essay of dramatic poesy has four debaters, among whom Neander is the one who holds the views of Dryden. Unlike other characters, Neander does not diminish the arguments that are on contrary to his views. Though he himself favors modern drama, he does not blame others. The beginning of the narrative, an essay of dramatic poesy, a victory celebration was going on in England. England have won over Dutch in a naval fight. The people of England were celebrating all over England. The four gentlemen, namely Critus, Eugenius, Lycidius, and Neander, who doesn't want to celebrate the victory or they doesn't want to involve in any kind of celebration. They took a vote and they were started to discuss about modern literature. Critus opens the discussion by saying that none of his contemporaries can equal the standards and the rules set by ancient Greeks and Romans. Eugenius restrains him from wasting time on finding demerits. He asks him to find relative merit in Greeks and moderns. Critus. Critus favors classical drama, that is, the drama of Aristotle, believed that drama is imitation of life. Critus holds that drama of such ancient is successful because it depicts life. He says that both classical and neoclassical favor rules and unities, the three unities namely time, place, and action. According to Critus, modern dramatists are shadow of Aeschylus, Sophocles, Seneca, and Terence. Example: Elizabethan dramatist Ben Jonson borrowed from classics and felt proud to call himself modern Horace. The classical is more skillful in language than their successors. At this, he ends up his conversation. Eugenius. Eugenius favored modern dramatists and particularly of 17th century writers. However, instead of telling about the virtues of moderns, he criticized the faults of classical playwrights. According to him, the classical drama is not divided into acts and also lacks originality. The ancient is the one who derived certain rules which has to be followed in drama, but even they haven't followed it properly. Their tragedies are based on worn-out myths that are already known to the audience, and their comedies are based on overused curiosity of stolen heiresses and miraculous restorations. They, res- they disregard poetic justice instead of punishing the wise and rewarding the virtue. They have often shown prosperous wickedness and an unhappy devotion. The classical drama also lacks affection. The heroes of Homer were lovers of appetite, food, etc., while the modern characters of French drama gave up everything such as sleep, water, and food for the sake of love. Lycidius. Lycidius favors French drama of earlier 17th century. French drama, led by Pierre Corneille, strictly followed unities of time, place, and poetic justice, that is, reward the virtue and punishment the vice. For this, they even altered the original situation. The French dramatists interviewed truth with fiction to make it interesting, bringing elements that lead to fate and borrow from history to reward the virtuous which he was earlier deprived of. They prefer emotions over plots. Violent actions take place offstage and are told by messengers rather than showing them in real. But in English play, they will show the vulgarity on stage, which embarrasses the audiences. Neander. Neander is none other than Dryden. Neander contradicts Lycidius' arguments favoring the superiority of French drama. He talks about the greatness of Elizabethans. For him, Elizabethans fulfill the drama's requirements, that is, imitation of life. French drama rises perfection but has no soul or emotions, as it primarily focuses on the plot. For Neander, tragic comedy is the best form of drama. Both sadness as well as joy are heightened and are set as side by side, hence, it is closest to life. He believes that subplots enrich the drama. This French drama, having a single plot, lacks the vividness. Further, Samuel Johnson, who defended Shakespeare's disregard of unities, he believes that adherence to unities prevents depth. According to him, deviation from set rules and unities gives diverse themes to drama. Neander rejects the argument that change of place and time diminishes dramatic credibility in drama. For him, human actions will seem more natural if they get enough time to develop. He also argues that Shakespeare is the man who, of all the modern and perhaps ancient poets, and largest and most comprehensive soul. Francis Beaumont and John Fletcher's dramas are rich in wit and have smoothness and polish in their language. Neander says, I am apt to believe the English language in them arrived at its highest perfection. If Ben Jonson is a genius for correctness, Shakespeare excels him in wit. His arguments end with the familiar comparison: Shakespeare was the Homer or father of our dramatic poets. Johnson was the Virgil, the pattern of elaborate writing. I admire him, but I love Shakespeare. Thus, for him, Elizabethans are superior because they have variety of themes, emotions, deviations, wit. They do not adhere to rules as well. Thus, their drama is really an imitation of life. Elizabethans are superior because they have variety of themes, emotions. Rhyme versus blank verse. At the end of the discussion, there is an argument between Critus and Neander over rhyme in place. Critus believes that blank verse as the poetic form nearest to prose is more suitable for drama. On the other hand, Neander defends rhyme as it briefly and clearly explains everything. The boat on which they all were riding reaches its destination. The stairs at Somerset House, and the discussion ends without any conclusion being made. So, this is the critical summary of Dryden's An Essay of Dramatic Poesy. Thank you. Hello students, I am Ramachandran, Assistant Professor, Department of English. In this video, we are going to see An Essay of Dramatic Poesy by John Dryden. It was written during the Neoclassical age. Writers of Neoclassical